Hello, you're listening to No Kids, No Pain. I'm Romina Puma.
And I'm Luca Cupani, and this podcast is about the choice of being child-free.
Each week we will explore the topic of choosing not to have kids.
And we would love to hear from you too.
If you decide to be child-free,
don't feel guilty, this is the podcast for you.
And if you have kids,
here's what you're missing out.
Welcome back!
Yeah, thank you, Romina. And so we are starting talking about this subject, and we realize that when you choose not to have kids, then people will ask questions.
Yes, they're very curious. They always want to know your business.
Yeah, because as soon as you're in a stable relationship, it seems that it's compulsory. Next step has to be
kids.
Yes. So what do you say? Because I believe we found out there are two possible answers. The answers that you politely give to people and the real answer that maybe you don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, you keep it for yourself, otherwise you get the usual look with the eyebrow. Right? So yeah, I have my reason why I don't want kids is actually because I'm very selfish. I never wanted kids since I was young. I remember like when I was about 20 years old, lots of my friends, they were getting married, and then, next natural step in a way is to have kids. And, they always ask me, oh, when are you having? I didn't even have a boyfriend at that time, let alone having kids. But, there was, are you going to have any kids? And, I always said, no, I don't like kids. And they always looked at me like I was like a monster, right? And but I never really wanted kids. How about you? Was it something?
I would like to sound less selfish, because how can you be so selfish? But I'm afraid it might be similar, although I like to spin in a different way. I discovered later in my life the inner child, so I like to think I'm parenting myself. I'm taking care of my inner child, and I really don't have time or energy for a real child. But also because when I occasionally see a therapist, and when I told her, well, I think I don't want kids, she gave me almost a standing ovation. She was like, yeah, exactly. So that made me think, yeah, probably she knows me better than I do, and she can see I wouldn't be the best father because I would be more focused on myself. I like to do my life.
You are a little bit selfish too in the end of the day.
I know, but I like to think I'm nurturing my inner child. So
okay, you want to think like that. No, I always thought, you know what, without kids, all the money, because it's so expensive, when you have a kid, since you get pregnant and go to the doctor and all that, and then when all the diapers and so much, the toys. Kids nowadays have so many toys. Oh my God, I need to get out of my flat if I get all those toys in. No. All those money, I will invest them in nice holidays.
Oh, that's good. That's
always been my plan.
That's good perks of because also when you don't have kids, it's easier to travel. It's easier to even in a everyday routine. You don't have to go back home sooner or later. You can do almost what you
can do whatever you want. Yeah. You are on your own, and you can decide whatever you want to do.
And I agree, but I'm curious because you said that so. The reason you don't want kids is because you are selfish, and you used to say this, and
people are giving me the look.
So have you learned through years and experience a more politically correct answer to this question?
Yes, because in the end, many of you don't know me, and you can't see me, so you can't tell from the voice. But I have a disability, muscular dystrophy, and I've been a wheelchair user for about 9 years now. And so since I've been diagnosed, which it was a about 15 or 16 years ago, I had finally an excuse that people don't give me the look anymore, and is, well, I have muscular dystrophy, and there is a 50% chances that I can transfer my condition to my kid. And also, I don't know what kind of effects a pregnancy will have on me. So, I better not have kids. So then people are like, oh, yeah, I understand. So I have now finally an excuse that people don't give me the look.
You wrap your selfishness around a nice,
Yes.
in a nice way, and nobody. Oh, and that's
Yes,
good.
I blame the disability.
I don't. So when they ask me, there are different answers. So initially, when I started dating my now wife, she told me that she probably couldn't have kids, and so I secretly was so happy because great, I will not have kids, and I can blame her. But then no, eventually she found out she could, but she still doesn't want, and so I have to say, in a couple, it's better if this is agreed, because there are so many couples when one wants kid, the other doesn't, and that's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we happily don't want kids, but both myself and my wife, we are both religious. We are Christians, which is not.
That surprises me, to be fair, because like my partner and I, we are not religious at all. And I remember our first date, the first thing we said, because like, you're not 20 anymore, we are over 40. And, things are, you have different priorities in a way, And I remember literally, first date, I told him, just to be clear, FYI, I don't want any kids. And he went, neither do I. Good, let's move on.
And that's more or less what happened with my wife and I. But we are both Christians, so yeah, we go to church. We believe, and we believe God doesn't want us to have kids. But it's harder to explain to sometimes other people. So when someone from the church asked me, "Do you have kids?" I just look up and say, "Well, if God wants," but I'm saying like, but God knows clearly that I don't want. So I just, it hangs in the air. Like we'll see, because it's harder to explain everything, because then people think we have. And I know that in the Bible they say you should multiply, but we are 8 billion. So I think this is the only commandment that the humanity has fulfilled.
I rather multiply cakes.
Oh yes, that's
rather multiply that. But do you have, like, for me, it's always the same excuse, the disability, full stop. Is for you different excuses depending on who you're talking to? Because like you were saying, like, if I talk to someone there at church and, I will say this. If you talk to, I don't know, someone who is not coming from a church, like, I don't know, a fellow comedian or a friend or someone you just meet.
I justify with the idea, I say, well, with my lifestyle, I cannot really even think of kids, which is so half true, because then I use this as an excuse. But it's also true. One of either my wife or I, we should stop doing what we do, because you cannot, like, as a comedian, we do. We go to gigs. So we have sometimes short notice appointment to go to. Oh, there's a spot available on the other side of the country, so you go there. And how can you do this with a kid? You still can probably, and I love whoever does, but I just don't want. I love to use it as I have to take care of myself, basically. And also I'm afraid that if I had a kid, I don't know, then you cannot. It should have it should be your priority, and I'm not ready yet.
But we want to hear from you, your real why, and the why that you tell people, the reason why you don't have kids. So we want to hear from you. You can get in touch with us at the usual. nokidsnopain@gmail.com.
Yes, or on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. No kids, no pain. Let us know if you, like us, you don't want to have kids, and what do you answer when your friends or people ask you why don't you have kids, and what's the official reason.
Yes. And that's all from us for this episode. And yeah, we'll see you soon for the next one. And well, we don't know the topic yet, but you will find out
Yes.
if you listen to us.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Ciao.